Okay, guys, I think we're online. Hello and welcome to another webinar. You can see two quite tired coaches at the moment. We both had an awesome night out, so we're going to pump our states with that webinar now. My name is Hake. I'm the founder of the Lifestyle Design Convention. And I can just see that we have 0 attendees. Let me just see what happened.
It says 9 attendees here.
Yeah, it says 9 attendees. Can somebody write something in the chat box so we can make sure that somebody is there, out there? Yeah, cool. I'm the founder of the Lifestyle Design Convention and at the same time sales leadership communication coach. With me today, I'm very excited to have Morten Hake. Morten Hake is an awesome guy. He's a coach. He's the organizer, the founder of the Morten Hake Summit, one of the biggest self-growth summits, I believe, in Northern Europe. An amazing event, which I shamefully didn't go to last time, even though I checked the webpage and I was like, oh, damn, this is amazing. And that's also the connection. That's the reason how we met. You also do YouTube clips. Man, you do so many things. You can certainly go a little bit more into detail after my babbling. And yeah, the thing how we connected was actually, I don't know what the first interaction was, but I guess I reached out to you or via Steve Pavlina.
Yeah, I don't know.
We just connected anyways, and you just invited me to your place and said, like, I can pick your brain on how to organize such an event, because I basically do something very similar in Switzerland now, 10th and 11th of January next year. And yeah, I was just amazed that I could just stay with such an awesome guy for a week for free, right? For free in his place. When I arrived, you told me that you're gonna probably go to Big Brother. I was like, oh, all right. And at the same time, you came back 2 days later, and we just had an amazing day.
I almost forgot that. It was such a trip.
Yeah, it was very, very cool. Yeah, yeah. Maybe you can tell a little bit about yourself, like your main project. I guess a lot of fans are out there right now. I don't know, does the chat work for you right now? Because I don't see anything.
Elizabeth is Ryan, thank you for having this session. I love everything you're putting out there to the world, helping make a better place. Good evening. Matsi is hi. Andy's there.
Very good. Amazing.
Anita, what's up?
Morten, you're going to be the moderator of this webinar because I don't see anything.
Okay.
I don't see any questions, so if you see something interesting, man, just go with it, and I'm just gonna sit here in panic, which is probably.
I love that. Okay.
Okay, dude. Yeah, maybe you want to talk a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm me. The last 7 years, I've been on a mission to I've been constantly working with personal growth in different areas. It started out in the dating world, and then I got more interested in peak performance, mental health, and all that. And then I started this conference to help men and women connect without the games and gimmicks and all that. We did that for like 4 years. Also having some other project where we gathered like 5 to 10 of our students, put them in a house and worked with them intensively for like 4 months, completely transforming their lifestyle, which was interesting. But now, and then like 1.5 years ago, at the last conference we did, or not necessarily the last, but the last one we did, Jamie Smart spoke there, and I thought he was going to talk about NLP, but it turns out he didn't talk about NLP. He spoke about something completely 180 degrees in the opposite direction, and which I wasn't prepared for. But it was. I just sat there and listened to it, and it was very simple way he talked about it. It was very. There were like fewer words and fewer concepts, less information, but the things he said just like hit right home, if that makes sense. So I was just sitting there enjoying myself, feeling good, and just noticing that I kind of was, I don't know, transforming, or there was something new about this. So I talked to him after his speech, and I was like, okay, this is something different. Like this is something that I want to dive deep into. Like I want to explore this more. Also during that his talk, I had this epiphany about my at that time relationship, and that I was going to start a new chapter in my life and all that. So he was like, yeah, let's do it, and then we set up a workshop. He announced it there and basically filled up the room right there, and we did the workshop. And at the workshop, that's when I had like this huge epiphany, which completely, like at the same time, it didn't change anything, but it also changed everything. So I'll probably be talking, a lot about that. Since that time, I've been fortunate enough to travel a lot. I've been, having to like I flipped my business upside down in order to, because it just hit more home, so I couldn't continue with the old information that I was putting out there, even though, that was good too. I was just, for me, it was like a level up of understanding how life works, which helps me navigate through life more easily.
Awesome, man. Really cool. I said it before. We talked about the title of this webinar, and I initially called it, I think, how to destroy your limitations, how you overcome your limitations. And then you said, no, Kai, we have to find a new title. And you sat down and you carefully phrased that title, watch your limitations fade away. Can you go maybe into like why wasn't the first two titles okay for you, and what made you change? Why this title?
Yeah, so for me, for me, destroying limitation makes no sense, because we are not born with limitations. We really don't have limitations, and there's nothing to destroy. It's more like a realization that we are, from nature, born with all the resources we need, and go from there, if that makes sense. So this is more of I'm going to be hopefully describing and pointing more than prescribing and giving you tips and advice, because I am not you guys, so I don't know what's best for you. But what will happen is, once you have an insight, then that epiphany or that aha moment will resonate with you at the exact moment you have it. So you already know it's true. So that's kind of how I work. It's more like I describe something, or I just point towards and ask questions and continuously share how I view the world, but I try to never like give any advice or tell people to do anything. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you said before that there are no limitations, right? And if I would ask a little bit provocatively, for example, if a guy is in a wheelchair, he would say, well, I have limitations in my life, right?
Yeah.
So
well,
how do you mean that there are no limitations?
I mean that a guy in a wheelchair, you can have two guys in a wheelchair, and one of them, is building businesses, traveling the world, or doing what he loves every day, creating incredible connections, whatever he wants. And he plays wheelchair basketball, or he's like, driving around hustling with his little rolling cart. And then the other guy would be like, I'm in a wheelchair, life sucks. So there's actually there's no real correlation between wheelchair and limitations. There's no real correlation between wheelchair and happiness. It might seem that way, you know, there's a combination of culture and social conditioning, and you know how we talk to each other and everything that kind of makes this bell curve of similar responses to similar ideas, and it's also how we are connected in a way. So maybe most people would prefer not to end up in a wheelchair, but what we see is, you know, there's been studies showing that lottery winners and people end up in wheelchairs a year after their state of happiness is just the same. So, and that's also, you know, points towards the realization that nothing out there can make us happy or limit us or make us unhappy or anything. The only thing we are feeling is our experience of that. So, you know, that means that say you are rejected, you know, quote unquote rejected by someone. If you look at that situation, it really just is. It could be maybe two people meeting, and then one person offers something or asks for something, and the other person says no. There you have a rejection, right? Yes. And that in itself is just neutral and open for interpretation. That's not a good situation or a bad situation. It's when we have our experience of that situation that situation has meaning for us, right? So we
absolutely. The thing is, though, it seems so real, right?
It seems, well, we are, you know, human beings living the human being experience, so obviously this is made for us. We are the ones both creating and perceiving our experience at the same time, so we don't notice that we are the ones creating it. So we're walking around in life perceiving with our senses and, like, you know, believing every single moment that we are, you know, being affected from the outside in, while in reality we are, it's inside out. Like, we live in the feeling of our thought generated experience in this moment, now. It's so funny. Have you seen the guy, there's this, like, he looks like a crazy guy, half naked on the streets.
I love him. What's his name? I just liked him on Facebook. It's just beautiful to watch that dude, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
I've seen his first video, and I remember, like, tears came to my eyes because it was just so simple. He calls it the wacky child. What's his name, guys? If you know it, please write it in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see the reactions of people. That like, some really, like, so he's a street artist, right? He has this long beard, this long hair, and he just dances on his on the street, making fart noises and like and stuff like that, and people are like, what the hell is this guy doing? And so, if you listen to what he says, and if you really carefully look at his actions, it's just enjoying life.
Yeah, man.
And that's it's just beautiful, and that's the reason why he has so many followers. I'm sure it's because it is that insight that you point towards, is he manifests that in somehow, and like, people watching, they're like secretly want to be the same.
Yeah.
And there's a wish for that, right? So you watch him and you think, like, oh, it would be amazing if I could just be as free as this guy, right? And yeah, I like them. Yeah, I like him very much. Yeah, it's cool, dude.
And it's so cool. Well, like, the context is like, well, he constantly points toward the now, which, you know, which is why, you know, I wanted to mention him, because he's just standing there and, like, doing what makes sense to him, like, and constantly pointing towards that. He says something like, history or your memories, they are right now, and it's like, it just hits home harder than so much other bullshit that's out there, to be honest. And Oliver, I want to like, so you can't see the chat. That's Oliver asked me a question.
I can see it again. I can see it again. Yeah, there are questions. First of all, guys and girls out there, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. That's the reason why a webinar is so cool, is like you can directly ask questions. And we're really going to try. I'm going to read out the first question from Oliver here. Do you think, first of all, thank you, Oliver, for the question. Do you think that your realization came from letting go in some way, like letting go of what you think life should be and letting it take you like a river?
Okay, perfect. So to answer that question, I first got to say that words are always an echo of thought. Like, my words can never really describe what I'm pointing to, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna answer that question as good as I can, because letting go, you know, letting go can be misunderstood. Like, the fast answer is yes, but in most cases, I notice that people misunderstand the idea of letting go, because letting go is not really an application. Like, letting go is something that just happens when there's a more, you know, when you realize that when you realize something, and then more important stuff rises to the surface, and at the same time other stuff that really wasn't that important, but you kept holding on to them with your thoughts and like kind of like overthinking about them or whatever, and that just kind of like fades away. And when you look at it afterwards, you go like, whoa, you know, I just let it go. So, and he asks also like letting go of what you think life should be and letting it take you like a river. So yeah, the fast answer to that one is also yes, but also no. So I'll describe it with a metaphor that Michael Neal used, and it's like I used to be on a roller coaster. You know, it's like I felt like I was on a roller coaster. When a roller coaster went up, I was super, you know, hyped, and when it went down, I was scared of dying. You know what I mean? And because we constantly buy into this thought-generated experience that we have all the time, then it seems real, and it is real to us if we, you know, in those moments. So when I was scared about my business, or, you know, over my girlfriend, or whatever I was worried about, it seemed super real to me, and that was life. It was most important and all that. So realizing that my feelings didn't reflect what was out there, but my feelings just told me how my thinking were in that moment. That realization, and I know saying that sentence, you know, people can hear that in so many different levels, but when I felt that realization, it was like this roller coaster that I thought, kind of like the metaphorical roller coaster that I talked about. It was like the whole roller coaster just leveled up. So, you know, it was just like everything just like became more easy, more relaxed, way more effortless, flowing. And I still have ups and downs, you know, and I still buy into this illusion or whatever. It's as much as I did, but I also have this notion. I also know in the back of my mind that I'm just feeling my thinking in the moment. So that just kind of like makes it less dangerous to feel bad. You know what I mean? Like today I've been hungover all day and it's a mess in here. You know what I mean? It's a mess.
It's ridiculous.
And I used to be like going through the day thinking that I should be cleaning up here. And now it's like it no longer makes sense to me to think about, you know, it no longer makes sense to me to hold on to should thoughts. I notice they surface, and then I trust my self-correcting system of my mind that new thoughts will arise, and I'm gonna feel different. And that's not to say that I'm not gonna clean the place, because I wouldn't have cleaned the place, even especially if I walked around thinking, oh, I should clean this place, I should clean it, should. Because when your thinking is in the should mode, you're feeling that frustration or that should thing. So I'm not gonna have fun cleaning up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a thought that like you suffer because of the thoughts that you have. Like, and I have that so many times that I feel guilty about it, and I think I shouldn't feel guilty about it maybe. And there's like new thought trains coming and new thoughts train, and I'm just killing myself over thoughts about me having the perfect lifestyle design convention, right? Or me doing exactly that, and I have to do it, otherwise everything will go to shit and stuff like that. And I think, yeah, like hanging out with you and also just like my journey in general, I just felt like when these thoughts come up, I'm just like, oh, hi, and and then after a while they just go away. Or the other thing that I just do, I take action immediately. That helps as well. So like just like go into it, not thinking about doing it, but actually doing it, because the suffering is not created by not doing it, but actually the thoughts that come out from it, or the thoughts that you create.
Exactly. Right? So I don't want people to misunderstand me not cleaning my home because I'm a lazy ass. You know, I am in some areas, but also I like to do stuff on inspiration. So I'm just like, I'm gonna wait until I'm inspired, which I am right now, by the way. So then it'll be much more easy and effortless and fun for me to clean the house. You know, that's just an example, but this goes across the board. It comes to all areas of life. You know what I mean? Once we start, or like when we walk around overthinking about our thinking, and then trying to overthink our way out of overthinking, or trying to manage our thinking so we can stop thinking about something or change our way of thinking about it. If it makes sense to you, do it, but also know that thoughts are like the weather, you know what I mean? They come and go, and because we don't, how do I know this? Well, we don't know what we're going to think in 5-10 seconds, let alone 5 minutes. Thoughts just come and go like the weather, and sometimes we get stuck on a thought, and then we hold on to it, and then we start ruminating about it, we start overthinking about it, we start worrying about it. All of a sudden, that little thought is our entire universe, when in reality, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, nothing is that, like, how do I say this? I wanted to say, like, nothing is that important, but like, if you look at it at a bigger scale, and you lie there in bed and you're gonna die when you're, who knows, 110 probably, and then you're gonna look back, it's not gonna be those small thought monsters that you created into a big thing, right?
It's more. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's a cool article about it. You can Google it. Like, I think biggest regrets people had before they die. I think it's a really cool. It's a really cool little piece just to consume, to read, and like let it marinate. I had such a little thought monster before. I thought like, oh, we really should answer all the questions.
Yeah,
we really should now. So
run through them.
Let's feed the thought monster real quickly. Like, the first question that I don't remember who asked it, but how has your understanding of of the 3 principles, I guess 3PS means principle, depend in the last 6 months, Morten?
Okay, so Andy is asking a question. What's up, Andy?
Can you maybe first, like, for people who don't know, like, just really briefly go what the 3 principles are?
Okay, so 3 principles is just another way of describing as good as possible what I'm pointing towards. So a principle in life is something that is an absolute. So if I drop this coin, it's gonna fall, and we all know it, and it has always done it, and it doesn't matter if it's Monday or Sunday, it doesn't matter if I'm happy or not, you know, gravity is gonna be there, period. You know, that's a principle. So the three principles of the human experience is what, you know, in this three principles community they call universal mind, consciousness, and thought. And you can look at it like a computer maybe. So you need it's like, say you have a computer, a desktop computer, you need a power supply, and you have a computer and you have a screen. So it's almost like universal mind is whatever is outside of our understanding. I like to call it just life. So light or life force. You can look at it at electric force, the metaphor, but they mean like life force. And then you have like thoughts as like the computer, and then consciousness like the screen, so you'll be able to perceive what's in the computer. So that's like the fastest way I can describe that. It doesn't really matter if you understand this or not. It's not a process about understanding at all. This is this is more like a, well, it is a point being is that like 3Ps is not that important to understand like that. How has my understanding of the 3Ps deepened the last 6 months? Well, what happens is once the realization is there that we are feeling or thinking in the moment, then what starts to happen is like when you go through life and have new experience or continue to have experiences, then you get that same insight from different angles. It goes like, oh, this applies to arguing as well. And then it makes no sense to you to continue arguing with something out there because you realize it's actually your experience you're feeling and not the other person. So boom, you go, whoa, that another insight, which is the exact same insight but just viewed in a different context. And then you go out and you talk, you know, being social or go to a club or whatever, and you realize that, you know, your shyness or whatever, and then you go like, whoa, I'm just like feeling my thinking right now, and this is the experience I have, but it's just an experience, you know, it's not it's not dangerous in any way. So kind of like the last 6 months I've just been, you know, I've been traveling a lot, I've been meeting a lot of people, so the more kind of like input or like experiences I have, or then the more grounding I have in this understanding, because it just gets confirmed again and again and again and again and again. I can see it in the news, I can see it on everywhere, you know, everywhere, and people are waking up to this. It's like the new paradigm of psychology, like it truly is. And I can see different places and different people that are constantly pointing towards the same direction, you know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah, the reason why I'm a little bit absorbed is I've seen the next question.
Gotcha.
Which I would be interested in, and it's like from Sybil, and she asked, how do you evaluate the difference between determination and obstination? And I don't know what the word obstination means.
Oh, me neither.
So maybe you can describe that for us non-English speakers or non-natives, what exactly you mean by that, and then, because I think I imagine it to be an interesting question. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool if you could help us with that. And then the next one. That might be like the other question that Andy had. As you look back to the beginning of your journey, 1.5 years ago, what were some of your, maybe you answered them partly already, but what were some of your biggest breakthroughs. Maybe you can give like maybe some specific examples how it manifested it out there.
One breakthrough I had was realizing that I was going to break up with my ex-girlfriend. Or instead, in other words, I was going to continue on my personal journey and start my chapter on my terms. And you know, because I thought that I was dependent on her approval, you know what I mean? And then until I realized that, you know, it's just I'm just feeling my thoughts. And it was super healthy for me and her, and now we have the best relationship ever, you know, as friends. So that was a huge one. Another breakthrough I had was just realization when it comes to dating and women and flirting. Just the realization that life attracts life, and this new paradigm that I like to call it, this new understanding, that kind of like comes closer to how life works than how, you know, what we thought before. It just seems that I fall more into the flow of life. I enjoy myself more. There's more life to me, if that makes sense. Like I can see it on my, you know, my appearance. I can see it on how I'm with my friends and how my friends are with me. And
it's like that glow that people have, right? So it's just like I sometimes I feel it too, like, but a lot of times I can see it in other people, and especially women that are just very beautifully in the moment, I call it. And it's those kind of people that you just look at and think like, damn, these people are happy. And you're maybe jealous, you're like, and at the same time, they are extremely attractive, right? So they attract, as you said, life attracts life, and it's just these people attract people.
Yeah, man.
So you just attract.
Crazy. Like, it's really crazy. And you can see, like, those times, it's like you start bringing out the best in other, or like not you bringing out the best in other people, but just notice yourself just being in the moment, having fun, and then more people around you doing the same more of the time. So and also it's like I went from like from trying not to try when I was with women, if that makes sense, and then to now just like really enjoy women and talking to them and just seeing the best in them, and that in itself kind of like you start seeing what's cool in people, because it no longer makes sense to look at what's not cool with people, you know what I mean? Because I'm just walking around in my experiencing life with my personal Morten human experience. So if it no longer makes sense for me to look for or judge or pick or whatever you mean, like pick on small irritating stuff that I see in other people. It just now it just like, you know, it's not even there anymore. I just see what's cool with this person and what's fascinating here and yada yada yada. So that's been huge in my social interactions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, who doesn't like somebody as a conversation partner that gives love? I mean, it's simply beautiful. Yeah, cool. Nice. Sorry, I interrupted you. Did you want to add something to it?
No, it's just like and it's also more like there's less caring in that, like. In Norway, the Norwegian word for care is bry, and that also means bother, if that makes sense. So there's less, I care less about less important stuff, and I care more about the important stuff, like love. So what happens is you start, when you see other people and when you start just like not bothering yourself about other people, because it makes no sense to bother yourself, you know what I mean? And then just like expressing from the heart and just expressing love and being there, and that works wonders. Like it's really mind-boggling, you know. It's all our experience. We're just feeling our experience in the moment, but we constantly walk around believing that we feel something else than our thinking in the moment. So we tend to believe we feel that other person, or we believe that we feel a rainy day, you know what I mean? Or we feel, it could be anything. So, yeah.
Cool, man. Let's go into Sybil's question. She wrote, we had that little misunderstanding. What she meant was, how do you evaluate the difference between determination? Oh, that's an interesting one. Between determination and stubbornness. So how do you evaluate the difference between determination and stubbornness?
Well, depends on how her map of those two words are, because my map of those two words are not the same. We're two different. I mean, we have our personal cognitive model of this whatever this is, this reality or life. So we walk around with our human experience of life, and then this human experience includes, 3 dimensions, a cognitive model of the world, whatever you want to call it, words, form, and then that is all that we understand. That's all we can perceive. That's all we see, hear, feel, everything. But the question was, what I see was the difference. Where is the question?
Between determination and stubbornness, because we had a small correction in the question.
Gotcha.
Determination. The difference between being very determined, right, and then stubbornness.
Okay.
So when does it end to be really determined, and when you're just like really like attached to the outcome and like, I want to get it.
Yeah, I don't know answer to that question. But I do know that, like, since we're always feeling or thinking in the moment, and you are determined, to me determined sounds like a good feeling, you know what I mean? So it'll make sense for someone to continue to be determined if they are determined. And then stubborn, it's always in, you can kind of like listen to the feeling, if that makes sense. You can listen to, if this feels good in the moment, then please continue. If this does not feel good in the moment, then to me it makes sense to stop, because there's no destination you will come to that will make you happy. Life does not work that way. That's how, we buy into this. Sometimes we buy into this illusion that if one day X, one day I will have enough money, or I will have that girlfriend, or I will have a harem of girlfriend, who knows, and I will have whatever, thing that's on your goal list or whatever. That goal, by definition, cannot make you happy. You are feeling, you're thinking in the moment. So it's always and only 100% of the times you're thinking. Like your entire thinking, not just what you think about, but your entire thought-generated experience, everything, every moment, your experience, you're feeling your experience, not what's out there, not the goal. So realizing that kind of like brings you back to the moment and go like, whoa, I can be happy now. I can really feel all, I can really like, I have it already. And then from there, it's more like inspired action. It's more creative, more fun. It's more effortless. It's more flowing. You get more things done doing way less. You connect with people better. It's just a different approach. And the other approach is, struggling and overthinking, worrying, hard work in not, the creative, inspired way, but frustrated, fucking hard work, and you can see it on your face and your body and you know
Hmm.
everything. But so it's really like a flip of a switch. Still boggles me. It's amazing.
And for me, I can see that like with a lot of tasks that I feel like are not my unique abilities or what I really want to do, I need determination
Mm.
or I need stubbornness to do so.
Yeah.
So a really practical tip that I started doing more and more is to outsource everything I don't like doing.
Mm.
Even if I feel it serves a purpose. So I always like with that convention, I can give this is the perfect example. There are tasks that piss me off, right?
Yeah.
There's stuff I just don't want to do, like writing a newsletter. It's just something I don't feel inspired to sit down and write.
No.
So what I did, I found a person that is good at that
Yeah.
and who loves that.
Yeah.
So this person will do that,
Yeah.
and I can contribute with doing webinars because this is something I fucking love, which
Yeah.
is it's a lot of fun. It's like interactive and it's connecting with people that plays into my unique abilities, that plays into that what I believe I love and I'm good at.
Okay.
And the more you cut off that bullshit left and right, the more you can actually create much more. A friend of mine told me, man, a year ago when I didn't have an assistant or when I didn't have somebody who helped me in that area, it took me 2 days to write a good blog post.
Mm.
Now I make it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just because his mind is not cluttered with all the other things that he thought before he has to do, right? So that all this that stuff that we talked before was there. No, I really have to clean my apartment. I
Yeah.
really have to do that. And it sounds kind of like, well, yeah, of course, but you have to be rich for it. No, you don't. There is always a way to figure out that people, if you do something cool, if you want to help people, people
Yeah.
will follow and they will support you. I mean, look at you, the way you live, Morten. Like you have a great group of friends who help each other out all the time,
Yeah.
and who all have like this kind of urge to help, I guess, and to
Yeah.
support people in getting that insight that you have.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think it becomes less and less important to be determined and to be very stubborn and to go through with tasks.
Yeah. See what
Yeah.
exactly? Because
Yeah.
what happens when you like let go all that, or when that letting go process happened, whatever. When realizing this, then you know opportunities that were there all along starts to show up for you more because you're not busy ruminating. So you more there when people are talking to you, so you can get ideas in conversation that you previously blocked yourself from getting those ideas because you were busy ruminating and overthinking and worrying, whatever. So what starts happening, you're like, whoa, that opportunity and that opportunity and that opportunity, and all of a sudden you start learning how to capitalize on opportunities, and then you start learning how to create opportunities and capitalize on them, and all of a sudden you're this super effective person in whatever you're doing. Good example of this is that yesterday, actually, we like at 6 or 7 o'clock or something, we decided that we were going to a concert that was here in Oslo with an artist, a DJ called Kygo, and Chris was like texting me like, okay, let's go to that concert. And we had no tickets, all the tickets were sold out. Couldn't find tickets on the websites that sell tickets and all that. So it ended up I found a contest from some company that already was over, so I contacted the SEO of the company, said that we wanted to go to the concert and we'll be like tagging that company and helping them out or whatever. Do you have any seats? So he is like, yep. And then if you do like a tag bonanza and promote us, we'll give you the best seats in the house. So we got the best seats in the concert. But we couldn't, there was sitting seats, but we were just so happy, so we were standing there just dancing. So the guy working at the concert thing, he came up to us and gave us 2 tickets to get closer to the stage. So we were like, oh yeah, man. And then so we just like ran down and had this awesome time. We even got to meet the artist and stuff. So so that's like another example of being open for well, not being open as in application, but like apparently we're open for opportunities. And if we were busy overthinking and ruminating about about all the imagined limitation, the thought generated limitations, then we would never be able to have that adventure yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know there's more questions.
Yeah, cool, dude. Let's go right into the next one. Another question, like, can you? I would be interested also in, like, can you talk more about connection? That was Andy's wish, and I think it's a cool idea.
So here's a realization. Connection is already there. Like, just the thought that life force, just like we all have our human experience of life, and then we walk around with our experience, kind of. But we all come from the same, or that human experience kind of describes or come from the same place. We're all from life. We're all from nature. We are life. We are a life force. So whatever, that's the only wording I could point. But realizing that on a fundamental level, then you'll understand that, whoa, connection with everyone is already there. I don't know if have you ever just connected with someone really fast? You were in the flow, the other person was in the flow, and you forgot to introduce yourself or just like start small talking at all, because you were just like boom in, maybe at a
we were right in there. Yeah, a lot of times.
Exactly. Yeah. So then it's like, whoa, all of a sudden you've been meeting this person for 30 seconds and it feels like he or she is family,
Mm-hmm.
So that just proves that that's not just possible, but that is very natural. We are from nature. We are life. So when realizing that, when you meet new people, just realizing that they also are walking around in life, feeling their thinking in the moment, and having their overthinking or ruminating and worrying about stuff that you might never even consider worry about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the same thing the other way around. So when that hits you like really hard, and then there's no limitations. There really is no boundaries between you and another person other than what you generate with your thoughts yourself. It's really that simple. Mm-hmm. So that's like my short super rant of connection.
Yeah, it's for me I call it, sometimes it's one being connecting with another being. So it's like I'm coming out of flow, the woman or the guy, the other dude is coming out of flow, and it's just the realities are not different. So I'm not in a thought cage or thought prison. He's not in a thought prison. We're just connecting directly. There is like the two. It sounds very woo-woo, but like two essences connecting. Yeah, yes, and it's just really
flesh
cool.
Vehicles, you know what I mean? In the same. Like Joe Rogan talks about flesh vehicles, just human bodies, you know what I mean? Two of the same thing, and people pick up on when you're just being you, and the real you is not all of your overthinking and worrying. That's just like, that happens to be what thoughts you get caught on in that specific moment. Mm-hmm. But you know, in Avatar, isn't it Avatar, that movie, when they say I see you, and that whole theme in Avatar is like they connect their bonds, whatever, and they say like I see you, which mm-hmm. is a metaphor to, it's just love, you know what I mean? I can see who you really are, like past all those insecurities and thought monsters you've created for yourself. I can see the real you, and when you start seeing that in people, connection is just there, you know what I mean? It's not even created, it's just there from the get-go, you know what I mean? Just like, hey, what's up? And then boom, because you can see that they're actually, even people that I notice that I don't like right off the bat, if you know what I mean. Like they don't resonate with me. I also know that they are in essence cool. It's just me having a thought generated experience, and I feel that thoughts. You know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with them. They were born as cool as me. You know what I mean? They're probably cooler than they think themselves because their thoughts are in the way. That makes sense. All right.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm just answering a few questions on the
Yeah,
side as
perfect.
well. This
I'm
is
gonna
very
answer another question I got from my friend Put. He was on here. So he
okay.
asked,
Cool.
like very earlier on, he asked, "How do you know for yourself if you really get the understanding of the three principles?"
Yeah.
Um, so a danger here can be, when I talk about all this, is that you listen, go like, "Oh, I need to understand this, and then I'll be happy." That's why sometimes I say instead of like this is almost like remembering, you know what I mean? Because you already know this, you already understand this. This is not some woo fancy. Like you were born as me, and when we, from nature when we were kids, a 3-year-old. The 3-year-old is fucking pissed, and then the next second is super happy, and then he's worried, and then he's fascinated by something for half an hour, and then he shits his pants, and then he fucking runs around, and he doesn't get caught up in, thought monsters and overthinking and worrying as much as us often, you know what I mean? So it's just because he's life unfolding, just like everyone else, but he hasn't created this strong illusion of separateness. You know what I mean? He's just like fucking letting life unfold and then doing whatever he does and having a good time. And when he doesn't have a good time, he doesn't, he doesn't hold on to those bad thoughts for weeks or month.
And
Like
he's also not hiding it. Like he's not hiding his negative emotions as well. Yeah.
he just, for some reason, from birth, from nature, he knows that all that is already natural. And then, he get conditioned into like, no, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, and this
Yeah.
is good and this is bad, and you got this box here and you got that box there and you got this box there, and this is how relationships work, this is how work, how you should, this is how money work, this is da 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 da. And all of a sudden he has this 700,000 boxes that he needs to uh, make sure is in order, and that everyone knows that he got his boxes in place, otherwise he won't be happy or approved or be loved or whatever. And then we start buying into the misunderstanding that you can get happiness from something else than your own thought generated experience. And then so somewhere along the way we just forget that we already are happy. We are born with everything we need.
I love that sentence. Somewhere along the way, we just forgot that we're already born happy, that we have all we need. I think that's a
Yeah,
very
man.
that's a very important one.
Yeah, for people
That's,
asking about resources and stuff.
I
Yeah.
said Clarity, the book, Jamie Smart, which is really
Yeah, I
cool.
advise people to listen to it on audiobook. You can get it for free if you go through my website, or I think, yeah, and then sign up for Audible. You get a free first book, and then you can download the Jamie Smart book. It's like a 7-hour audiobook, and so it's not that long,
Can you type in your webpage real quick? That would be cool. And while you do that, do you have like any other book or like sources or book recommendations that you have?
Yeah, the Inside Out Revolution with Michael Neal. Michael Neal also did a TED Talk, so you can just search for Michael Neal TED Talk. It's called "Why Aren't We More Awesome" or something. Why aren't we awesomer or something like that. Yeah, so
Okay.
start off with those, and you'd be on it. And then I really highly, highly recommend you to like come to the Lifestyle Design Convention and have a long ass talk with me.
Yeah, cool, dude. That's already a perfect bridge for the next thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna like the let's say the construct, how it started that we do all these webinars is because of the Lifestyle Design Convention. And first, first I did it to promote the convention, and then I had so much fun doing it. I'm just doing it for doing it, you know. So it's like,
Nice.
yes, I'm
Nice.
gonna certainly continue those kind of conversations. It's just something I love, and I think people can benefit from it. So it's really cool. We're
Yeah.
certainly gonna have, basically, the lifestyle design convention already started when we had the first webinar, Morten, quite a while ago, which you can actually also see on the our lifestyle design convention YouTube channel. So just search for lifestyle design convention. I also put in the link earlier. Morten, another question for you. Like, we started talking about it. So 10th and 11th of January, there's going to be 2 days packed with Steve Pavlina, with you, with other really amazing coaches. We talk about location-free business. We talk about the thought revolution. We will talk about self-growth, self-improvement. So there's going to be a lot of topics around growing as a human being, designing the life of your dreams, as we call it. You can check it out on lifestyle2015.com. You will see all the details there. So it's going to be 10th and the 11th, a weekend. So my question for you would be, is like, okay, yeah, well, but I get all these free webinars, right? So why should I maybe even take a plane or like take a train, take whatever, buy an expensive ticket and then go to such an event?
Well, to me, if I were an attendee at this webinar and I listened to me talk, I would go, either this guy is full of shit, or, this is what I've been waiting for. Like, this is it. So it's either one of those. And I can tell you, like, for me, that understanding has been everything. Like, it's been the biggest shift in my entire life. I didn't know how much I suffered before. I didn't know. Back then, I was content and happy, but not, there was this constant, just like ruminating thing in the back of my mind that I wasn't there yet. You know what I mean? I wasn't there. When I was with my girlfriend, I thought about working. When I was at my work, I thought about my girlfriend. When I was with my family, I thought about both of them. You know what I mean? So there was always this. If you feel like there's this underlying dissatisfactory kind of element, then definitely show up. You know what I mean? It's all about showing up. Like, going to these conferences, I've done so many of them, and I know the true value of meeting up. Like, just meeting up, just meeting the people there. I mean, yes, there's gonna be talks and all that, and you have this whole thing all arranged and all that, and that's the whole event's gonna be amazing. But just you bring in those people into one room will have tremendous implications throughout everyone's life in that room. So, and obviously connecting with people who have done what you want to do, or connecting with people who are like-minded, just the value is just invaluable. You know what I mean? It's just, obviously you're going there, obviously I'm going there, obviously I'm bringing all my friends. It's just a given. These days flight tickets, you can get them cheap, whatever necessary to get there. I would say fucking do it. It will have a huge impact on your life, or it might have a huge impact on your life. It might be a life-altering fucking experience. You don't even know. So
absolutely.
Yeah, showing up, and this is an opportunity you have the possibility to capitalize on right now. Money is just a tool, so money's gonna come and go. In 6 months, you don't even remember the money you spent on a conference. You know what I mean? But you'll remember the amazing adventures. You'll remember meeting the new people. You'll remember, the awesome conversation you and me gonna have, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Cool. I just popped in the offer on the right side where you can just have a look at the ticket and stuff. I wanted to add something, and I think that's really important. So, like now you have this webinar, right? You listen to it, and then you turn off your computer, and you're going to be alone again, right? So, and life comes back.
Mm.
And for me, that was oftentimes the problem, that I had all this material at on my hands, like right in my computer screen, and I just couldn't apply it because there was no people that went that journey with me.
Mm.
And I think that such an important thing is that after such a conference, you then have a social circle, or at least a few friends, good friends, because it's a very intimate thing, right? Such a convention. Because it goes deep. It's not one of those superficial, hello, how are you, nice to meet you conferences. It goes deep. It goes right into the core of human being.
Yeah.
And I think right after that, if you have them people that you spend 2 days with, that you had amazing connections, you can call them up in moments where you feel like down, or where you feel like doubts or whatever, and you can go together through that. You have accountability partners, whatever you feel like, you have that there. And I think it's my biggest mistake that I did in the past was like trying to do everything myself. It's so much more fun. I mean, you have always friends at your place. You're rarely living alone. I know that from experience. And I tried to do the same, because it's loneliness that kills us. And it's oftentimes that you come back and all the people around you will say, well, that sounds interesting, but man, you need to have a job, you need to do that, and all the limiting beliefs come back because these people, they didn't go through the same transformation as you did.
Yeah, so that's like another theme that you just said, like you don't need to have a job and all that. Like I can easily, you know, I have tons of knowledge when it comes to like living a lifestyle on your terms, you know what I mean? Like I've been doing what I love the last 7 years, and in so many different ways. You know, I've been making an income fucking 100 different ways throughout those years. So I'll do my best to share my knowledge on that area as well. So for people who want to quit their job and live on the road, or you know, in Bahamas, whatever, somewhere, there's ways for you to capitalize on what you already love. You know what I mean? Not only capitalize on it, but inspire other people, and be, you know, the leader in your own life, creating the lifestyle you dream of, and you know, having fun doing it, like actually enjoy the process and create something meaningful. You know. So yeah, Andy writes, this understanding has turned everything upside down in my life. Best thing happened to me in my 5 years of personal development. Dude, that's fucking awesome, Andy. Me too.
That's great. Kudos. Cool. Another thing that I wanted to add is if you want to get updates on what's happening. I just realized I turned it off. But like we have a Facebook group up where you can also connect with people, because as we said before, it's such an important thing to do that, to have like-minded people around. We're also going to give you updates and like inspiring videos, everything. All the webinars are going to be up on our Facebook group that you have the link of right now. So like it, sign up to our YouTube channel, and where you basically just have a free source of such kind of discussions with questions of people, and yeah, we just focused on giving out a lot of free value because it's just simply fun to do so, and I hope you guys like it. Let us know, give us feedback. Also, that's always something that is very, very cool. If you guys want to attend, you already have the pop-in offer on the right side.
I can do that.
You cannot. You don't have a pop-in offer?
Oh, it's on another. It's on the other tab here. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's also because you're also an administrator, so it doesn't show up that. But on the right side, it should be for the people.
Yeah, guys, dude, totally come there. You know, I want to meet you in person. I want to, you know, get to know you and talk to you, because just from you showing up on this webinar means that you are pointing, in my opinion, in the right direction, that you are like-minded, and that we would have awesome conversations. You know what I mean? We would. That's just fact, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's also something that I wanted to say. Like, your role is really cool. You're not only going to have a speech as you said in the last webinar already, like you're gonna live with the attendees.
Yes.
So that's really cool. They can ask you questions all the time.
Yeah, I want to be running around all weekend just talking to people, you know, one-on-one or in groups, whatever they want, just constantly. I can't stop, you know. I love this, so that's what I want to do. I want to connect with people, so whoever, like, if you come over there, if you come to the conference and, you know, just grab me and we'll have a session, whatever, you know, whatever you need.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. Guys out there, thank you so much for asking those questions. Also, from my perspective, I learned so much also during this conversation. So it's like a double win. We give out some value, and I got so much back. That's really cool. I'm gonna leave you with I'm gonna redirect you all to the webpage of the event, so you can have a look, and you will also see another a few links there to other videos and stuff. And yeah.
Cool.
Thank
Can
you
I do
so
some
much.
shameless promoting?
Yes, please do so.
So my YouTube channel, YouTube.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No worries. Morten Hake. I got another YouTube channel linked from that one too. And then my homepage is mortenhake.com. I got a Facebook page at facebook.com/mortenhake. Also, feel free to add me on my personal profile because I'm active on both, and I don't see the difference. Well, there is difference, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so I really want to connect, and I hope to see you at the conference.
Cool. Thanks, dude. Okay, guys, have an amazing time. I hope I just redirected you a new tab, and I wish you an amazing time. Enjoy life, guys.
Me too. Love you guys. Thank you.